Okay, latch up. Let's make Joaquin welcome. He'll be talking to us about GDSFactory.
Okay, hello, hi everybody. What does these fields have in common? Photonics, quantum, and MEMS.
Physics. Lots of weird analog.
The tools are all pretty bad. So I'm Joaquin. I've been doing chip design for 15 years. So I work at companies like Intel, HP, Quantum, and Google. I work on free space communications, quantum computing, also transceivers. So I tried to use pretty much every tool out there before we started GDSFactory. So GDSFactory is an open source project. It's a Python library to design chips, analog chips. And we have over 2 million downloads, more than 80 contributors worldwide. We have some high school students also doing maze routers. So I like to think of it as the next Minecraft, because we get high school students go from Minecraft to GDSFactory because they want to learn quantum computing and other cool areas like photonics. So the existing tools were pretty bad. The vendors were very slow to adapt. And we were trying to write some weird language that I never seen before anywhere else. Like, we wanted to do everything in Python. Our goal is to make chip design accessible to everybody, like from high school students to PhDs to anywhere in the world. So 2 million downloads, 80 developers. Just to give you an idea, we got like 500K downloads in the last 5 months. We have a lot of big companies jump into it, because some of these big companies are doing the lead development on like quantum, for example, like photonics, MEMS. We have also some of the top academic institutions. It's kind of hard to put a lot of logos in a slide, but yeah, we have more than this, as you can imagine. We support open source PDKs. So these are fully open source PDKs. And not only the PDKs are open source, but all the tools to make the chip, like from like TCAD simulations to electromagnetic solvers, all of it is open source. Circuit simulators, all open source. And we also support some PDKs, like proprietary PDKs. So we have over 12 PDKs that are proprietary under NDA. So here are some of the pictures. So it's all possible thanks to the community. So thanks to the contributor of people, like even people who just ask questions, it helps us understand, OK, this part in the tutorial is not clear. Even people who fix a typo is always welcome. So if you want to become a contributor, we always welcome contributions. And the goal of the chip design is to make a process that's end-to-end. Like you can go from design, verification, to validation. Like we want to make a tool that doesn't let you do the design, that also allows you to make sure the chip is verified with DRC, LVS, connectivity checks. And you also want to make sure when you test it in the lab, you make sure the circuit meets the specs. So it's an end-to-end design workflow. If you compare it to other tools, like there were some tools traditionally made in Python. I cannot show the benchmark with proprietary tools, but it's faster too. So we get over 200 speed up in some of the operations. And this is thanks to being written in C++. So GDSFactory is basically the Python API of KLayout. So it's all built on top of KLayout. And KLayout has a very fast C++ library to do all the operations, like read, write, and do Boolean of GDS, like all these operations. Like, how does it look like? So in the end, it's very easy to read Python code that you can draw shapes in any layer. You can also import multiple GDS and stack them together. You can do your own DRC decks. You can do pretty much anything you want. And in the end, it will output geometry. And this geometry, you can output into like a GDS file. We also support Oasis. We also support STL. So if you want to do a 3D printing project, you can 3D print with GDSFactory. We can also create PCB boards. Like if you want to do Gerber files, you can also export to Gerber files. And you can also drive simulations. So this is one simulator. We also support, this is an ANSYS simulator, but we also support like many open source simulators. For example, there's one called MEEP, developed at MIT, that will do electromagnetic solving, which is comparable speed. So overall, we're like 200 times faster. we have over 247 components readily available that are open source. So we have one of the largest, we have the largest open source photonics PDK and the quantum and MEMS. So these are all open source components that you can use on your technology. We support over 20 PDKs, and we seamlessly integrate with over 20 tools. So we have Python API extensions that drive similar tools. Some of them are proprietary, some of them are open source. So you can easily change from one tool to another tool with just choosing the back-end simulator that you're using. Like some of the success stories. So we have one student from University of Michigan. So he made a whole, this is a Skywater chip. So he made a whole chip with GDSFactory, like many, many complex components. So this will have maybe taken like 20 students with other traditional tools. He was able to do it pretty fast and make a post on LinkedIn. I thought it was amazing. We also had another student at the University of Bristol, Darios, who also made, so GDSFactory, it fits in the photonics and all the simulators for like FMwell is a FEM simulator. He put it in the photonics. He connected with analog circuit design, with SPICE. He also connected with digital tools, and he also built like high-level like quantum tools. So he made like a microservice architecture where all these simulators can talk with each other to simulate like quantum circuits. So if he has a PR open in G plugins, and if someone wants to also do something similar, we will welcome contributions to expand what we've done in the photonics world. Like we would like to expand into analog, and we would like to expand into digital. So if you guys want to help with that, feel free to go into the GDSFactory plugins. We have plugins for many tools, and we want to keep growing and keep increasing the functionality. And yeah, we also have now commercial support. So we offer commercial support. So this is part of something we're calling GDSFactory Plus. So we also build some GUIs for design, because a lot of people, GDSFactory is a library in Python, but a lot of people don't know Python. So we also have a GUI for design, can do like schematic. It can do also circuit simulations. It can do 3D rendering, as well as verification. You want to do DRC. You want to do LVS. And this is a very GUI thing that you want to make sure you can visualize the results. And we also have a data validation tool. So I want to do a quick demo. I think it's kind of like nice to see the tool in action. I'm going to show a quick demo of a hello world. I'm going to show a quick demo of a filter in RF. And I want to show also how to simulate a device. So this is a thermal heater. As you apply some current through this metal heater, the waveguide that's underneath, the waveguide is somewhere here, it will heat. And it will change the effective index. So as the light travels, like energy travels, there's a thermo-optic coefficient of the silicon that will change with temperature. So we will be able to see this in live. And it's very, very fast. So let me have the tool open here. So the first thing I'm going to show this hello wall. And I can change it to hello. I have this hello latch up. I can change it to hello UCSP. And you can see it automatically renders. So it's very easy for you as you change the code to see what happens. So you have instant feedback of, I'm changing this is what happens. The second thing I wanted to show is I want to show, like, I'm going to take a GDS that I created with GDSFactory. So this is the heater I was showing before. This is the top view of the heater. So I can see in orange, I see a metal heater. Here in red is the waveguide underneath the heater. So let's render it in 3D so you can see exactly here. Like we can fly around the component. You can zoom in and out. So this is what I was saying. This is like the next Minecraft, because you can fly around the component and see what the heater is. And you can see your vias and everything. So now I'm going to put this into like I'm going to mesh it. And I'm going to solve the current at different current points. I'm going to see what's the effective index change of the light propagating through this. And this gives me an effective phase change. So I got 5 phase change over 7 milliamps. But if I change, let's say you change the thickness of the substrate. So like if I go back to the slide we had before, like if I make the substrate thinner or thicker, it's going to change the efficiency of the heater. So the substrate is this H box, the height of the box. If I make it thinner, it will go from 5 to 3.7. So as I make the box thinner, my substrate becomes as a heat sink. So the heater is less efficient because this heat escapes to the substrate. So you can play with any of the parameters of this simulation to try to understand what's going on. And as you go to advanced packaging, you need a tool like this where you can scale to very large circuits to be able to simulate like what's the thermal crosstalk across the chips. So it goes all the way from device level to circuit level, like very big circuits. And the last part I wanted to show, I have this Latis filter here. This is let me show you the GDS so you know where we're looking here. So this is like a filter of 2-stage. Because I've defined the connection at the schematic level, I can move the layout, I can rotate or whatever, we can move to the right. It will automatically route. And because I have defined ports, input and output ports, I can simulate this circuit in frequency domain. So I can see the frequency response of the filter. And if I change any of the parameters, like I can change this delta length to like 100 micron, save, I simulate, and I can simulate again. And I have changed the frequency response. So I have now much more frequencies that are being filtered into different channels. OK, any questions? I think, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, nice one. Questions?
Cool. And sorry. And what was the name? What was the title of that slide again? It was like FM.
Yeah, it's called FMwell. So.
Yeah, FMwell. So
Yeah.
is this a recent addition to GDSFactory? So is this built in like the Python, or is this a separate tool that you are like interfacing with?
Yeah, we basically like we're debating. So we support like open source and proprietary plugins. So FMwell is one of the FEM solvers that we interface, but we also support other, like for example, Elmer is another FEM. Like there are many different available. Like it's kind of hard also to put all the logos in one slide. So I was trying to put this together today, and I didn't show it at the end. But yeah, this is where the nice thing that we have proven with GDSFactory is that you can do a fully open source design cycle. Like, and it's actually more efficient because we've done like thousands of simulations in like Google Cloud in parallel. That would be impossible with proprietary tools. We will be limited by the number of licenses. And in some cases, these are actually faster and of course, easier to install. And it works on Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Sure. Yeah.
Questions for Joaquin? Anything? Okay. Why don't we leave it there?
Thank you.
Let's thank the speaker again. Cheers, Joaquin.